Hello, hello. If you'd like to follow along this NCLEX Cram sheet, I'll put a link in my description. I'm not going to read this whole thing. I just want to read some portions of it, make some corrections to some things that could use corrections. Starting off, we're saying 6 hours. That's just not true at all. So we're going to change this from being 6 hours and 265 to 5 hours and 145 questions. That's how long we've got. That's how many questions are maximum. It's a COVID thing. Abg values and stuff, these values might be different than a lot of what we studied in nursing school, but they're not so different that it's really worth making a change on any of this stuff. There's so many great videos out there coaching people into mnemonics for these kinds of things. Drugs may be interesting. Schedule 1, you can't buy it legally anywhere, even with there's no prescription for these kinds of things, but Schedule 2, 3, and 4, and 5, you can either be prescribed. Some Schedule 5 things might not even need prescription. So that's going to be the difference between Schedule 1 and the others. Yes. Okay, developmental milestones, 2 to 3 months, turn head up, can turn side to side, makes cooing or gurgling noises, and can turn head toward sound. 4 to 5 months, the baby gasps, switch and roll over tummy to back, can babble and mimic sounds. 6 to 7 months, the baby sits and waves bye-bye, can recognize familiar faces and knows if someone is a stranger, passes things back and forth between hands. 8 to 9 months. Stands straight at 8, has a favorite toy, plays peekaboo. 10 to 11 months, belly to butt. 12 to 13 months, I'm not entirely sure what, because it's not the same as rolling over tummy to back. Belly to butt, must be rolling over and then sitting up or something. 12 months and up, drinks from a cup. Cries when parents leave, uses furniture to cruise. Cruising is when they walk around holding on to furniture for balance. Cultural considerations. African Americans may believe that illness is caused by supernatural causes and seek advice and remedies from faith healers. They're family-oriented, have a higher... I just want to apologize to anybody who doesn't fit into any of these and emphasize that they say this word may believe and may remain. These are gross oversimplifications that your mileage may vary on. Remedies from faith healers. They're family-oriented, have higher incidence of high blood pressure and obesity, high incidence of lactose intolerance, with difficulty digesting milk and milk products. So when you see these recommendations from my plate, the government saying everybody needs to drink milk, it's just not true for everybody. There's large swaths of this world, more than half the people in this world cannot drink milk. And so don't do what the myplate.gov tells you to tell everybody. Check and see if people can actually digest milk. Arab Americans may remain silent about health problems such as STIs, substance abuse, mental illness. A devout Muslim may interpret illness as the will of Allah, a test of faith, may rely on spiritual, ritual cures or alternative therapies before seeking help from a healthcare provider. After death, the family may want to prepare the body by washing and wrapping the body in unsewn white cloth. Postmortem exams are discouraged unless required by law. May avoid pork and alcohol if Muslim. Islamic patients observe month-long fast of Ramadan, begins approximately mid-October. This fast means that they're only eating and drinking when it is not light outside. People Suffering from chronic illnesses, pregnant women, breastfeeding, or menstruating don't fast. They don't participate in Ramadan. Females avoid eye contact with males. They use same-sex family members as interpreters. I thought this was interesting. Family members as interpreters is generally discouraged, but I guess that's what they do. Same-sex family members as interpreters. Might have to research that. Asian Americans may value ability to endure pain and grief with silent stoicism. Typically family-oriented, extended family should be involved in the care of a dying patient. Believes in quote-unquote hot-cold, yin and yang often involved. I think maybe this is supposed to be beliefs in hot-cold. Sodium intake is generally high because of salted and dried foods. May believe that prolonged eye contact is rude and an invasion of privacy. May, this is the thing that made me want to do this in the first place, may nod without necessarily understanding. It's a totally different meaning. May not without necessarily understanding doesn't make sense, and so I'm inferring here that they're trying to say may nod without necessarily understanding. No shame to the person who made this. Everybody's got something going on. It's a lot to deal with in life. May prefer to maintain a comfortable physical distance between the patient and the healthcare provider. Latin Americans may view illness as a sign of weakness or punishment for evil doing. May consult with a curandero or voodoo priest. Family members are typically involved in all aspects of decision making, such as terminal illness, and may see no reason to submit to mammograms or vaccinations. Native Americans may turn to a medicine man to determine the true cause of an illness. They may value the ability to endure pain or grief with silent stoicism. Diet may be deficient in vitamin D, calcium, because many suffer from lactose intolerance or they don't drink milk. Obesity and diabetes are major health concerns. They may divert eyes to the floor when praying or paying attention. Western culture may value technology almost exclusively in the struggle to conquer diseases. Whoever made this has my nod of approval, not my not of approval, but my nod of approval, because this is so true that, you know, it's like the water we're swimming in as little fishies, this idea that technology is our savior, going to fix everything. That's a Western culture thing. May value technology almost exclusively in the struggle to conquer disease. Health is understood to be the absence, minimization, or control of disease process. Eating utensils usually consists of knife, fork, and spoon. 3 daily meals is typical. Acute renal disease, diets. I'm not going to read through all of these. I will draw your attention to this high fiber. High five to you, but we are talking about fiber here. I wonder if maybe they recorded this with a dictation software, speech to text, or autocorrect or something. High fiber. High five to everyone. You deserve it. You deserve a high five. You also need to eat high fiber regardless of whether you're obese or overweight. If you want to have good poops, it's really worth it. Sickle cell anemia, hemorrhagic stroke. So I'm jumping all the way down from positioning clients to hemorrhagic stroke. The high occupancy vehicle elevated 30 degrees. We're talking about the head of bed, HOB, elevated 30 degrees. This becomes a little bit like a Easter egg hunt, finding all the little typos, and you are invited to find additional ones and let me know what they might be. Dumping syndrome, laminectomy. I keep needing to figure out what those are. With dumping syndrome, you eat in reclining position. You lie down after meals. That just seems so rare. What is dumping syndrome? Usually after surgery to remove. Okay, so we're talking about gastric bypass. influx of food into your intestines suddenly causes a lot of fluid to move from the bloodstream into the intestine as well. Extra fluid causes diarrhea and bloating. Intestine also releases substances, speed your heart rate, lower your blood pressure. Okay. Now we know. I have the same question about laminectomy here. Surgery, removing the vertebral bone. Huh. Okay, so we're removing some of this lamina. Now we know this is not meant to be a thorough review, and you are encouraged to do your own. Bulimia, chipmunk faces, I think, but maybe chipmunk faces. Yeah, I think we're just talking about faces. We're not talking about faces. DVT, Homan sign, discomfort behind the knee upon dorsiflexion of the foot. So you push the foot up, the knee feels uncomfortable behind the knee. Hirschburn's disease, toxic megacolon. Yeah, this is what I thought this was. So we're just megacolon. We're filling up the colon with poo. And you're going to see ribbon-like feces. Nitroglycerin patch up here, administered up to 3 times, intervals of 5 minutes. Really kind of jumping around a bit here. I have no more corrections that I found in this. I really appreciate this guide, and I really appreciate all of these additional resources that they provide, and I am excited to use these. Thank you so much for watching this. Good luck on your NCLEX.